Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We're following two breaking stories here at noon. The family of a man shot and killed by Detroit police have filed a lawsuit. We are live with the allegations against the department.
But we begin with breaking news out of Farmington, where a man was shot just outside of the downtown Farmington area. And right now, police are searching that area after multiple shots were fired at a man right out in front of his own home.
Yeah, this is all playing out at a townhome complex right near Grand River and Farmington Road, just outside of downtown Farmington. Local 4's Rob Maloney is there for us. He's talking to people who live nearby and police. He joins us now live this afternoon. Rod, what are you learning?
Yeah, well, we're learning that this was a rather audacious shooting. It happened right behind me here in this driveway at 33230 Slocum, and it's called, the complex here is called the Brownstones at the Orchards. It's a townhome complex, and the gentleman who lived here apparently came out early this morning to his truck and was shot at. In fact, the Farmington Police Department is telling us that the man was targeted and that he was shot as he stood by his truck. We have video of the truck, and in fact, you might see a gunshot, a bullet hole by the front driver's or the passenger side mirror. Now, what they believe happened here, about 8:16 a.m., the man came out and went to his truck, and there was somebody, a man, waiting for him and shot him. And so it was a situation where the man was looking apparently to go to work and was shot. Now, the original call came in, and the police department is saying that it was a malicious destruction of property call, but the police station is about 2 blocks away. And so officers were here right away. The man was lying on the ground. They did CPR on him and went ahead and had him brought to the hospital. We're told he's in surgery as we speak. So we're still waiting to hear a condition on him. But Bob Huhannesson, who is the deputy director of the police department, and also Nada Mehti, who is a neighbor, talked to us about the situation. Let's hear what they had to say about the shooting this morning.
We think the suspect came in a vehicle and left a vehicle. We're pretty sure that this was not a random event, and that we have some suspects that we're working at the moment.
I mean, it's unsettling, but it seems to happen everywhere you go. There's not really any safe spot.
Now, the police department press release is saying that the shooting suspect is a light-skinned black male who left the scene in a passenger in a gray Ford Fusion with heavily tinted windows and no license plate. So the police department, as you can see, have been canvassing the area, canvassing the parking lots, trying to figure out who that was. Perhaps the most disturbing part of all of this story is that just behind where the shooting happened, just steps away, is the Sunny Daycare and Montessori School, which, by the way, was open and had children in it at the time of the shooting. We went and checked with them, but they said that they didn't hear anything. The children were all safe inside. The police department saying that everybody is safe right now because they believe this was a targeted shooting, and they are working the area, including perhaps picking up some Ring doorbell video here to see if they can figure out who this person was. So they're still working the case. We'll certainly have more coming up on Local 4 News at 5. Reporting live in Farmington, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Very alarming. Rod, thank you for the update there. The other breaking news that we're following this afternoon is this $50 million lawsuit that has been filed against Detroit police in the death of Porter Burks.
He was shot and killed by Detroit police as he suffered a mental health crisis last month and lunged at officers with a knife. Our Sean Lay just talked with the family and also attorneys. Sean?
Well, good afternoon. We had the lawsuit here filed on behalf of Porter Burke's mother, suing City of Detroit and 5 police officers unnamed who were involved in that shooting. Also released here by attorney Jeffrey Frogger, not just the $50 million lawsuit here, but the medical examiner's report. And the very first thing here is that Porter Burks died of gunshot wounds, 19 to his body, 2 to his head, 6 to his chest, 5 to an arm, and so on. Let's take you to the scene. This happened October 2nd, where Burke, suffering from a mental health emergency, and that he has been suffering from mental health issues all of his 20 years, according to his family, had a small pocket knife on him and wasn't allowed to go inside the home. So the family had relied on DPD in the past, according to the lawsuit, called DPD for help. And Police say Burks would not put the knife down, and they tried to de-escalate the situation, ended up firing apparently more than 30 shots. So we've got a $50 million lawsuit where attorney Jeffrey Feiger saying it was unnecessary for police to shoot that many times and use deadly force. Also, the aim of the lawsuit, if you listen to the attorney here, is to make changes within the department on how mental health emergencies are handled by officers.
It should not happen again. This lawsuit hopefully will be a means to initiate change in the department. I believe that police officers shouldn't be responsible for caring for mentally ill people, but that they should not be responding with deadly force to people who obviously are suffering mental health.
Back here live outside Feiger's offices here in Southfield, where he was speaking today with family members present. There is a lot of new information, or new allegations, I should say, contained in the lawsuit. We're digging through it right now. Have much more coming up at 5. Also asking the city and police what they have to say now that a $50 million lawsuit has been filed on behalf of Porter Burks and his mother. We're live in Southfield. Sean Lay, Local 4. Back to you guys.
All right, Sean, thank you. We are expecting to get an update today on a hit and run that took a shocking turn in Roseville. Last week, a 62-year-old woman's body was found in the bed of a truck after a crash on Common and Hayes Road. Police were searching for a person of interest shortly after the crash. It's not known how the woman was killed or how she knew the person of interest. So we will continue to follow this story for more answers.
Detroit firefighters were able to douse a fire at an apartment building on the city's west side earlier this morning. The fire started on the second floor of a building on Greenfield right near Fenkel just before 5. Crews were able to contain it to just one unit. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Investigators aren't sure exactly how that fire started just yet. All right, so we are exactly 1 week away from Election Day, and the campaigning is reaching its final stretch.
It is. It is coming as new details are emerging about the man accused of attacking Paul Pelosi, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So for that, let's get to Drew Petremol. He joins us now with a report that the suspect is going to be in to face a federal charges today.
With 1 week until Election Day, campaigns are making their final push, crisscrossing states and calling in heavy hitters to help out their cause. But in the wake of this brutal attack, there are also new calls to tone down the rhetoric. Disturbing details about the vicious attack on the husband of a top Democratic Party official. According to a new federal complaint, David DePape told investigators he was going to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her. Nancy is Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, second in line to the presidency. DePape allegedly telling investigators if Nancy were to tell DePape the truth, he would let her go. And if she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps. But the speaker wasn't home. Instead, DePape found her 82-year-old husband, Paul, at one point striking him in the head with a hammer just as police arrived.
We believe that he did intend to kill Mr. Pelosi at the time that he wielded that hammer in that attack.
With the suspect's mental state being evaluated, his digital footprint is under the microscope. A blog published under his name includes mixed ideology and is laced with far-right extremism, conspiracy theories, and anti-Semitic postings.
We've got to do everything we can to lower the rhetoric.
The brutal attack coming as campaigns across the country reach a fever pitch. Key races are neck and neck. Both sides calling in heavy hitters to help sway the undecided. Former Presidents Trump and Obama on the campaign trail.
This could be really close on election night and perhaps beyond.
From Georgia to Arizona and Pennsylvania to Nevada, the political world watching key races that will determine which party controls Congress for the next 2 years. In a statement issued last night, Speaker Pelosi thanking the thousands of people that have reached out to her family since the attack, adding that her husband is making steady progress in what will be a long recovery. Reporting from Washington, I'm Drew Petremol. Back to you.
All right, Drew, thank you. If you have any questions about the upcoming election here in Michigan, we do have you covered on our website at clickondetroit.com on the elections page. And right now, you can see our latest exclusive poll, which you can find out who's ahead in the governor's race and how people feel about the different proposals, including Proposal 3 on abortion. Devin Skillian is interviewing Governor Whitmer and Tudor Dixon about the key issues, and our election guide will also give you all the information about what you are voting on. So head to the elections page so you're fully prepared to vote.
Well, if you are watching right now, you are not a billionaire, at least not from the Powerball jackpot. It's now over.
Billionaires can watch us too?
Well, they didn't win from the Powerball jackpot, like I mentioned. You know, it's still available. Nobody hit it big last night in the drawing.
That is true. Nobody won. So it's now at $1.2 billion with a cash option of $597 million and growing for Wednesday's jackpot. It will be the second largest ever in Powerball history and the fourth largest jackpot in lottery history. So maybe we should just keep it going.
Yeah.
One person in Traverse City did win $1 million, matching 5 numbers last night. The drawing next is tomorrow night. Good luck.
And I guess if you did win, you still wouldn't be a billionaire because Uncle Sam is coming for his chunk.
Coming for a good half of that.
Yep. Let's turn out a forewarned weather. Wow, look at that. It looks all sunny and nice out there in Mount Clemens. The rain has moved out from overnight. Yesterday, we saw a lot of it. The sunshine making a comeback, so that's kind of nice.
Sunshine and blue skies, and temperatures are rising all the way in the low 60s now.
I'll tell you what, it is a great day out there. Now that we've moved that cloud cover out, take a look at our skyline. That is just incredible. The color of the blue, both the water and the sky, you could make a postcard out of this. It's one of America's iconic skylines, and it looks gorgeous right now. Look at that. Metro is at 63 degrees right now. Howell at 55, 59 in Pontiac, 60 right now in Adrian. So let's take a look at some of that visible satellite imagery, and you can see how well we've cleared out. Now, there are still a few patches of cloud cover. You can see a little bit of cloud cover here in parts of Lenawee and Monroe counties. And then farther to the north, we had some pretty thick cloud cover here, but that's going away. Take a look as I put this in motion. Watch how this cloud cover is literally being scoured out as dry air moves in and the sun gets higher in the sky. We start mixing up the atmosphere. So it's going to be a great afternoon. So we're pulling out the grilling forecast. It's November, and I'm giving you the grilling forecast. You could barbecue this afternoon. It's going to be well into the 60s, light wind, just a beautiful day. We'll be back to talk about how long this stuff's going to last and your weekend forecast in just a little bit.